Good morning, my beautiful friends. Welcome back to another video. It is Monday morning and it is daylight savings, which I absolutely hate. I don't see the purpose in us continuing to do daylight savings. It just completely wrecks everyone's days. Don't get the right sleep. Anyway, I'm rambling. So right now it is 8 o'clock. Normally it would be 7 o'clock if it weren't for daylight savings. So I'm feeling behind, but I'm technically not. So I'm gonna take my pills, made my first little perfusion snack. These are just some pancakes that I made previously and I've been storing in the freezer, dipping them in some Siggy's plant-based peach yogurt and a little bit of maple syrup. And then I also made some egg bites yesterday. This one has sausage and kale in it. So I've just hunkered down on the couch. I'm gonna go ahead and get those things started, and then I brought my iPad out here so I can take a look at my morning vitals, or my overnight vitals, I guess, and data to sort of plan out my day. I woke up feeling absolutely horrendous, and so I do know I'm probably going to be at least either yellow or orange, if not red. Probably not red, but because I slept pretty good last night. But anyway, I'm going to go through that data with you guys and plan my day outside of a neurosurgery appointment that I have at 1 o'clock. It's an hour drive, so I'll probably leave here at about 11:45 and I'll get back around 3. So that's the only sort of like main thing on the agenda. I'm moving toward having my methotrexate injections on Sunday nights, and so I'm gonna have Mondays just sort of be ease into the week sort of deal. See you guys in a little bit. Let's see what we got going on here. Clicking on my health app on my iPad, always starting out with heart rate variability, and I did already see that I had some sort of like fake spikes throughout the night. So heart rate variability measures basically like the standard deviation between your heartbeats, and so if you have a lot of variability, that range can sometimes not be super accurate. And so I'm not really going to pay attention to this value, which is the 188, and I'm going to pay closer attention to me being around like the 79 area. That's a little bit more normal for me. So this was like a little bit after I went to bed, a small little peak here. Again, very high value, not really attending to that. I tend to hang out right around here. So I am going to use that as sort of my heart rate variability data for last night, which was the 79. So that is pretty good for me. Anything below 60 is typically going to indicate a red day. So I'm going to be probably in a yellow day today is what I'm going to guess. And then from there, I'm going to go over to my sleep score. I'm going to take a look at all of the breakdown here. So I was awake for about 56 minutes. I did wake up quite a bit last night. Deep sleep was under 40 minutes. So for me, that is technically, sort of an orange, between an orange and a yellow day. So again, leaning more toward that yellow because I did get almost 2 hours of REM sleep. So 8.5 hours overall. That's pretty good too. Still feeling like we're going to be in the yellow zone for the day. And then I'm going to scroll down on the same sleep page to my respiratory rate, 14.5 to 22. This 22 is probably when I woke up to go to the bathroom or something, so I'm not terribly worried about that. And then my heart rate range was 41 to 67, keeping it nice and slow, meaning that my body was able to kick into that parasympathetic mode, meaning that I was actually resting and digesting versus just living in fight or flight all night. With all of that being said, I feel like I am in the yellow zone today, meaning that I just need to sort of pay attention to my symptoms and watch for the head and neck pressure, the eye pressure, fatigue, which will sort of tell me that I'm creeping into the orange zone, or I just need to change some of my strategies while in the yellow zone. Yellow zone today. That's the closest that I get to green, unfortunately. I don't think I've ever had a green day, but I feel grateful for the yellows. So despite how I'm feeling, which also like is the other piece, right, is I have to take the symptoms into account, data. You know, as you saw, like some of those HRV data points weren't accurate, so I need to just have a balance between what's happening in my body and what's happening in the data. So we're going to move as if it's a yellow day, and we're going to be cautious. A yellow means cuidado, okay? So we're going to be very careful today. It is 11:02 a.m. I need to leave here at 11:45. I just finished eating that breakfast burrito, which was delicious. I still have actually about half of it that I'm gonna try to finish here while I get ready. Don't know if I'm gonna have enough time to do all of this, and I'm gonna try not to be stressed out about the time, but I should be able to get out of here in 45. I'm feeling a little bit shaky and just gross, so I'm gonna pop a salt stick. That's usually if my body is shaky, it's the perfusion of my blood is off balance, and so by taking some salt, it helps kind of stabilize the fluid within my body so that my blood can do what it needs to do. So, all right, sorry about the background noise. My husband's cleaning the blender, but this is what I'm going with today. Since I started colchicine, I have had far less inflammation, meaning jeans don't make me want to off myself, so. Okay, we made it. I'm in the car. It's 11:50 on the dot, which means I'll arrive at like 12:54. My appointment's at 1, so right on the money. Getting out the door is like honestly the absolute worst though, so I'm struggling, sweating, so I'm gonna get moving. I ripped off my shirt. We're on the move. Let's do it. All right, I made it. It's 12:54. I'm still pretty shaky, so I'm gonna try to take a couple hits off this applesauce before I go in. I brought a smoothie and some bars, some crackers. I brought a variety of things to kind of just fuel myself as I go, but I am hitting a wall, so hopefully this appointment is quick. All right, 30-minute appointment for the win. I just popped out a little smoothie that I made before I left. This has mangoes, cherries. I got a little bit of vanilla bean powder, some maca powder, pecans, a little bit of honey, and some peach Siggy's plant-based yogurt. It is so delicious. I am probably going to lay down for a hot second, just to be horizontal, let my blood get back up to my brain and heart before I start the hour drive home. I think I showed you guys this pillow before. It's from the brand Lovesac. No, I did not make that up. It's a nice, perfect little pillow to pop right here. Just hits right in the center part of your neck. So lovely. So I'm gonna just enjoy the view for probably 5 to 10 minutes, and then I'll get back on the road. So I'll see you guys then. All right, I just made it home, and I think what I really want to do is change my clothes and just get onto the couch, but I do have to shower because I have another appointment tomorrow, and tomorrow morning is not going to be shower time, so I think I might just go jump in the bath and, but first I'm going to check my vital, or not, I keep saying my vitals, so I guess they kind of are. Anyway, I'm going to check my heart rate variability and whatnot and see where I'm at, so. Oh my goodness, come here. Oh my goodness. I am on my heart rate variability data again. It actually literally just updated, because I was about to say that there's not much of an update because the Apple Watch does not collect your heart rate variability constantly throughout the day. So again, that's why I take the data with a grain of salt. But one of the things that I do pay attention to, whether or not this data point that I talked about earlier this morning, the 188, you know, being just sort of out of range, and you know, again, it's the number of, I cannot focus, oh my god. Well, Oliver's going to show you what's going on here. But anyway, if I have even though this 188 is technically sort of like an out of range value, it is telling a story in terms of, you know, there's something going on with my heart rate. I was having a lot of variability, and it just registered with that standard deviation being really large. And so when I have something, a big spike followed by a really big drop, 76 is still really good for me. But because of the drop, I do need to pay attention, that sharp drop, I do need to pay attention to my symptoms a little bit more closely. And I have shared that I've, you know, felt pretty shaky all day. And as I was driving, I was starting to get some of that base of the skull, neck pressure and pain, and that is a very clear indicator that my blood is not circulating in the way that it needs to, and I need to get horizontal. So that is what I did when I arrived, as you saw. But anyway, now that I'm home, 1 o'clock to 3 o'clock every day is sort of my cycle, if you will, in terms of when my worst 2 hours of the day every single day are between 1 and 3 p.m. and then also the first like 1 to 2 hours after I wake up. So this feels right. 50 does feel about where I'm at. Wow, that is so nice, buddy. So anyway, I'm at 50 right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and take my baths / shower, because if I sit down, I may not get to it. These are the anxious thoughts that are going through my head. If I change my clothes, like I haven't showered yet today, right? I shower in the evenings, and so if I change my clothes, I'm gonna dirty a clean pair of clothes. Whereas if I just shower, I can put on what I'm gonna wear for the night. Also, I know I should be listening to my body, and I should be taking that rest, but I don't think I'm going to be able to get the rest that I need if I'm feeling gross, or if I'm worried about, you know, not again having energy to shower. So this is one of those moments where you kind of just have to test it out a little bit, and I'll be able to look at my heart rate variability data later to see if this was a bad idea or not. Hopefully it's not. I just ate, so that should be good. I'm nice and hydrated. So hopefully this does not push me into the red zone. So stay tuned. We made it through the bath. I got dressed, and now I'm gonna go. I don't know where to look. I was like cross-eyed for a second. Any hoots. I'm gonna go and rest before I have to make dinner. So my spot on the couch basically just stays like this at all times. Got my heating pad. I have 2 books that I'm reading right now. Got my salt pills, my med bag down there. Nice little pillow to elevate the old legarinos. Remote's right there. Looks like this spot is calling my name. No place better. All right, I would say vibes are low to medium. I just laid on the couch and did some research for probably the last hour. It's 5:10 right now, so I'm just starting dinner. It's kind of loud in here, so hopefully you can hear me, but got some mushrooms on the stove, and I'm also going to slice up some onion to throw in there. And then this is the homemade broth that I keep in the freezer at all times. So I'm gonna put that on top of the mushrooms and like turn it into like a gravy, add a little bit of coconut yogurt at the end, cream it up, and then put that over mashed potatoes. The other thing I have going is we like kind of par fried some chicken thighs yesterday, and I also have some asparagus that I cut up yesterday, so dinner is as easy as possible tonight. And then the other noise that you have here is my cat, Oliver's, and this is almond flour that's dehydrating. Okay, cool. Bye.